no good, we know
We
eat.
don't eat.
We know eat.
Yeah.
We
Well,
wait.
on that note, welcome to Lounge Chair Legends. I'm your host, Derek James. Today I'm sitting down with one of my oldest friends, the Mr. Brandon Sheets. He is an artist, an entrepreneur, a dad, an all-around good guy, and a strange character. How's things going with you, man? Since we're just talking about possibly being demoted on purpose.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I know it's a weird way to start.
Yeah,
But on purpose. It's not like,
yeah.
it's just a step in a different direction to let your thing go better.
I mean, so, I'm devoting 40 hours or so of time to Quest. And so those 40 hours of time, I'm doing a lot of admin and like organizational stuff for SoftStream, which is the new water softener company. And so my time is actually better spent doing these functions that are not necessarily directly related to selling a deal or closing a deal, but towards the logistical or protocol that is being implemented in order to allow us to sell deals smoothly. So that way when we get someone who is apt for buying, that we can capitalize, rather than me just kind of taking a passive interest as water softening being a side hustle. It's turning into a main hustle. And so what I need to know my schedule every week, and they can't give that to me as a float.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's because what'd you work yesterday? Like 7 to 7?
I left my house at 6. I got home at 8:45.
Whenever I work Tampa, that's about what I do because I leave Altamont at like 6:30. Do the route, whatever, get back there, and then especially because with that section of I-4 being shut down between like 27 Champions Gate because they're doing that construction there. The other night I didn't get back to Orlando from doing AP03 until like almost 10 o'clock at night, just because there was one accident that everything shut down. Because it's normally 3 lanes, it's already slow anyway. Now it's only 2 lanes, so I was
back at 9 something when I did AP03 the other night.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I got back last night at like 8:15.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're sending me out to Tampa, I live in north of the land. If you're sending me out to Tampa, I'm not in a rush.
No, that's a long, especially because we take lunch break every day. Well, I take mine when I'm done. So when I'm done with that route on the way home, I'll go to like Sunny's or something and sit down and actually have dinner. You know what I mean? Because I've worked for the whole day. Because I always bring lunch with me anyway, but. So I go and sit down and actually have dinner and take my time. Otherwise, I always feel like if I'm in the middle of the day and I take a lunch break, I don't know why it gives me so much anxiety. Like I feel like I'm putting myself behind. Like I would rather crank through my day, be done with the day, and then take my lunch break than take one in the middle of the day. And especially being afloat, because if you get a call and you got to go the other direction or whatever, then you end up, the whole day takes way longer.
You might have anxiety.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Speaking of anxiety, boy, we see some shit on the road. Like the video you sent me, I was telling Bernard about it today when we were walking through Lowe's about the car on fire. Because the guy was towing it backwards.
Yeah.
He had the back wheels up on the car hauler. Like,
yeah.
That made no sense. Dragging the front wheels. I don't know if the tires caught on fire. I don't know.
Terrell said transmission caught on fire.
That's what it looked like to me. It looked like either that or the tires had locked up and that had caused the fire to go up into oil and shit. But transmission, that's what I said to her, is that the transmission while driving backwards probably hit a bump or something and went from neutral.
But it could have been a brake fire too, though.
A ton of things, but it was definitely on fire, and the guy was just looking at it. And
he was way too close for that thing to be on fire.
Yeah, well, when you sent me
I didn't want to drive by it, but I was like, fuck, what do I do here?
When you sent me the first video, because there's like 2 chunks of fire before the car, because it was whatever had fallen off or whatever. And I thought it was a road flare at first. I was like, oh, look, they put up a road flare to mark a fire. And then when you drove past the little fire, I was like, oh, that's a fire to mark a fire.
That was a miniature fire. Hey, there's more of this down the road. What do you know? We're here.
I have seen a ton of cars on fire. To this day, the weirdest one I've seen is the Jeep. There was a Jeep Liberty, like the weird tall Jeep. So it was like someone had just picked it up off the road and put it like 50-50 grind style on the guardrail in the middle of I-4. It was on both sides of the guardrail, wheels on both sides, almost perfectly symmetrical.
Bro, look.
No wheels were bent up underneath it. It didn't look like it had flipped. I have no idea how it got there.
Let
But
me,
it was on top of the
let me
guardrail.
show you this picture of this car.
Oh, no. What'd you find? Where was it at?
That's over on OBT. Right there by Southland.
Oh, he was just going to the smoke shop,
He's
trimming the palm tree, you know?
he's on the palm tree.
On the palm tree. At least it's a short palm tree. You know?
They're walking around the car trying to figure out how to go get it off. I was like, oh my God. I had to hit him with the obligatory, you can't park there. Yeah. They smiled and waved. I'm not sure
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure they spoke English.
Yeah, well, either way.
They just smiled and waved.
What else do? You can't go anywhere. You know, you get more mad. You know what I mean?
Some people do.
Dude, working off the trail is interesting. Because, like, last night coming home, nighttime, well, you see some shit on the trail. Because, like, you know, we go past the Dollhouse and the other, I don't even know what the name of the other strip club is. It's right across the street.
Palace.
Is the Palace or whatever?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's
Because there's
Palace.
two right across the street from each other. And there's just prostitutes all up and down the road. And I don't know if they're prostitutes, but they're wearing a uniform. You know? There's a gun store and shooting range right
Dress
next
for the
to
job
the one.
you want.
Their gun store shooting range right next to the other strip club. And then car dealerships as far as the eye could see.
That's right. Because if this bitch don't come out with my money, I need a gun to shoot somebody. I need a car to get away.
Gotta get away. And it's everything from the most beat up.
This is logistics.
Yeah,
You know?
Well, there's like that one. There's one car. There's one of those dealerships.
We got to move some shit around.
Yeah, the one that's right by the Marathon gas station in front of the Walmart has the most beat down cars, like broken windshields. Like the cars are all fucked up.
Uncle Bobby B, baby.
Yeah, well,
Uncle Bobby B.
the dealership before that is all like, they've got, you know, mega wraps on the cars. They have like right hand drive R34 GTRs. They've got a bunch of BMWs, but they're all riced out. Like none of it's stock. Like this whole place is just all full of.
I'm sorry, Asia.
But that's what they are. You know, they're riced out cars, man, and they're badass. Like every one of them is badass. But that place, none of those cars are a low ticket car, and it's, you know, like 2 blocks away from the shittiest cars you'll find at a used car lot ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. You know, janitor and the CEO work in the same building.
Yep. I don't know who else. I think I was talking to Bernard the other day, but like, because we're talking about like healthcare and just the general thing of healthcare. You know, like how bad it is sometimes and how good some doctors are. I mean, you know, the person who finishes last in their class and you know, graduating and be a doctor is still called a doctor. You know, I mean, it's not they're not posting their scores on their wall. They just post a diploma. You know, that's
right.
You know, you could have old dumbass Dave who squeaked by. But
Yeah.
you don't know that because it just says Dr. David
You
Schwarzkowitz
got
or
to
whatever.
do a public records request.
Can you find out people's grades like that?
Probably.
Did
If
you pay for that?
if they went to a public school, maybe the state schools paid by public funds. Maybe.
Are there state medical schools? I don't know. 'Cause I know there's
Medical programs at state schools.
Yeah, 'cause I know there's medical programs, but like, do you get an advanced
Can you
degree from
get
the state?
someone-
like a doctorate from state?
Can
school?
you get? Hey,
But this is two of the most uneducated fucks talking about where to get an education.
hey, Bernadette slash Jamie, all rights reserved, Jerry.
Production.
You generally cannot access a doctor's academic records, including their scores in school, due to privacy regulations and the fact that such information is not publicly available.
And now we know.
All right, and now that's a thing we all know.
Okay, here's a question. See, now, what are we doing? Production.
You can make them taste a bowl of clam chowder and see if they salt and pepper it before they taste it.
What am I Googling?
Where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
Are there state schools that offer a medical doctorate program?
I forget who it was that was one of the things that he did when he would hire people. He would offer them a bowl of soup, and then he would make a decision about whether or not he should hire them based on whether they salt and peppered the soup before or after they had tasted it. It might be Thomas Edison. You want to look that fact up? Who hired people based on salting and peppering soup?
And we're just randomly Googling.
I'm
shit.
sorry, JRE Jamie, all rights reserved.
Production.
Production.
Yep. Production's name is Bernadette Bomer. She's my
Right.
beautiful wife. She's made all of this possible, makes it look nice. She's the lady with the camera. She's also our Googler.
Thomas Edison.
It is
It
Thomas.
was, it was Edison. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. I was
and
right.
to answer your question, my love, yes, many state universities offer Doctor of Medicine programs.
All right. I didn't know if you know what I mean. Like I didn't know if you'd have to go to like a specific medical school because like I know Harvard and whatnot they have them, but I don't think they're state
You
schools.
could interview the people you went to school with.
Ah, loophole.
Yeah, you know, and that, but what if you interview everybody that just like the guy? You know, like yeah, Dave was a lot of fun. He did good here.
So random is really the most fair, and so choosing people that knew him at random, you're going to be choosing people. You're not gonna you have no bias. You're not gonna go at it and who like. Are you gonna talk to his ex-girlfriends? You know the source that you're talking to. This
Yeah, that's a lot of legwork.
This
to
is
do
an ex-girlfriend.
if you have to have like you know your knee fixed.
I'm thinking more like a neurosurgeon. You know,
Well, you know, I probably should have done that for my
before the
back.
tumor gets so big that I can't reason like this, I need to get some shit done real quick.
Yeah, I probably should have done that for my back. 'Cause-
Always, you could just go to the dark web, buy his data, figure out what kind of porn he watches.
Oh man, I don't know
Right?
how that would affect the way that they would. Well, I guess maybe.
Be like, hey,
hold on,
you wash your hands? All right.
Doctor.
All
Why
right.
are there
All right,
tentacles
let's
on
go.
your wall?
All right. Come on, Juice Man.
Find out what kind of porn they watch.
Oh, man, I'll tell you a lot about him.
Oh man.
You know, what if you're like, I need to go see this guy, I got blood clots in my leg. You find out, oh, he likes to watch amputee porn.
Well, here's a question: what if you find zero porn? And then is he
Well, I'm good.
extra weird?
I'm getting surgery from a robot. I'll be fine.
Thank you, Sheldon. Let's do this.
Yeah. Dr. Cooper?
All right, I guess yeah, that does kind of make sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I would want my person to be a human, but
You know, it's not going to kill me in a room full of people. This guy kills people one-on-one, clearly.
it's not gonna go. Not at least not on purpose
Yeah.
anyway.
You know?
Dude, that's some of the craziest shit, like the medical theater stuff, where they have the students come in and like the surgeon is performing life-saving surgery on people, with a whole balcony full of people watching them do the surgery, and they still do that. Now it's behind closed glass. It's a far more sterile environment, but they still do the shit.
Yeah. I've seen enough real life
Well, it's not that. I just mean
shit that I just, yeah. I
Well,
wouldn't want to be
and they-
that. I wouldn't want to be a doctor.
well, exactly.
Or a
me
surgeon.
neither. Yeah, me neither.
I wouldn't want to be a surgeon.
And they do it for educational purposes, so the students
Yeah,
can see. I mean, I
right.
understand it, so I
For the
get
people
why
who
they
want
do it.
to do that, yeah.
But I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that patient.
Human
You know?
beings, no. I mean, I can feel just an animal. I don't have that type of emotional reaction. But human beings being hurt. That's why I don't watch gore and horror movies.
No, I don't really watch them either.
Yeah, because gore is not entertaining to me.
No, I mean, like, okay, I watched the first Saw. I liked just because of the twist at the end. Because you never think the dead body is the fucking killer. Like, who thinks the dead body's the killer? The whole time you try to figure it out, it's like, oh, the body gets up and walks away. That's such a mind fuck.
It is a real mindfuck.
Yeah, I mean-
I'll be honest about that.
And all the rest of them are just over the top gore movies because you can't top that. Like, how
Every horror movie I've ever watched was because a girl asked me to.
you never watched like the old like Friday the 13th movies? See, I like those.
When I was a kid, my dad dated this 18-year-old, my legal dad, David. He dated this 18-year-old girl when we lived in Arizona. And she loved horror movies. And so as a kid, like that just, the shit that you see in horror movies, it freaked me the fuck out.
You know what horror movie freaked me out?
I've always been like, ugh, disgusted by horror movies.
When I was a kid, the one horror movie that really freaked me out the most was Silver Bullet from Stephen King, the old werewolf movie. And I don't know why, it just freaked me out. I went to go to bed, I kept having nightmares, and my parents we used to play penny poker. Well, they used to play penny poker with the family, and they're out
That's what
playing
we
a
should
poker
do.
game, and I kept getting up. Wanted me to go to bed, obviously, because I was playing
So
poker.
we should do, we should get the guys together. We should all play penny poker. Everybody go to the bank, get a bunch of change.
Get a bunch of change. Yeah, I'd be down for that. But my Aunt Lane, I kept getting up and out of bed, and Aunt Lane, she drew a Star of David. I don't know what Star of David was. She didn't say that. She's just like, she drew it on a piece of paper, and she's like, you take this, and you fold it up, and you put it underneath your pillow, and it will take away all your bad dreams, and you'll be able to sleep. And sure as shit, I went right back to bed and I fell asleep then. Now, it's placebo effect on a child. It wasn't like, it wasn't, we're not Jewish. We never grew up like that. She's Jewish, but that's what she drew. And she didn't explain that's what it is. I didn't know. I'd never, I was like 5. You know what I mean? But it worked. It worked. I mean, she told me that and I went right back to sleep like nothing had happened. So, the whole placebo effect thing for kids or whatever, because she told me that this will protect you and I believed it. So when I went to bed, it worked.
Well, that's like a Schrodinger thing, right? Because whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Because it's your belief, it's your will that manifests your reality.
I mean, to an extent. What if I believe I can fly?
Then at some point you're going to create. If you really believe,
I'm gonna end up in prison.
No,
I believe I can fly. Sorry.
That's. And now a word from our sponsors.
Johnson & Johnson baby oil.
Pfizer.
See, I went Diddy. You went pharmaceutical.
Yeah, they're just as deadly.
Oh,
but whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. If you believe if you want to fly bad enough, you're going to create a plane.
A what?
Or a plane.
Oh,
or some ability to fly.
I meant fly under your own power without, like,
Well,
like Superman.
There's reasonable and there's unreasonable.
That's what I'm saying, because there's no amount of it's going to make me take off.
Right, because it's against what we know to be the laws of physics.
Yeah. I always wonder how Superman just goes faster. Just decides he's just going to go faster. He just goes faster. Because he'll be cruising. Is it butt clenches?
According to Dr. Cooper, it's Kryptonian skin cells.
Did he shed them faster?
The photovoltaic value, probably.
The what?
The photovoltaic value.
What is that?
The ability so it's like solar panels photosynthesis. Turn light into power. To turn light into power. Well, photosynthesis is with a plant, right?
Yeah.
But and so a solar panel is a photovoltaic, so it's taking the photon and converting it into energy.
Voltage. Okay,
voltage. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now. Now you break it down. I
PV.
forgot you used to do solar too.
PV, yeah, photovoltaic.
Well, you said you got you're with a new water company. You're still doing Puronics as well, or did you migrate to do a different? Are you using different people?
So I'm involved with an organization, an LLC that is authorized for Puronics, and then I do consulting for another organization that is, and installations for another organization that is authorized for Westinghouse. Okay. So, and then we're adding solar and security to our sales lineup. So we'll also be selling. We're setting up to sell. We're attempting to get set up with ADT.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sell security to new homeowners.
But at first I thought you meant like installing like Ring cameras and stuff for people. I didn't realize.
Ring cameras, door monitors, window monitors, motion sensors,
etc.
Driveway camera.
Yeah.
Backyard place camera, whatever. Whatever. Certain amount of items, X amount of cost, and then get them, see if they want a monitoring plan for $50-$60 a month.
Yeah, I don't even know how many cameras we have around my house right now. I feel like I'm always being watched by my wife. Right. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I mean,
and that's probably a service, right? Is that a monthly service you pay for those cameras?
See what I'm saying? No, I think
yeah.
Is it a monthly service?
It's like $11 a month to have it online.
I say because they're
that's just
not Ring cameras, right? But they're Blink cameras.
No, they're Blink. And
they're Blink.
First generation, you didn't have to pay because it went to a USB, but the newer cameras are not grandfathered into that. So yeah,
okay.
But you can have 10 cameras for $10 a month.
Oh, cool.
And that's just to access them online, right?
Yeah.
They're not monitoring it for you.
No.
Okay. Yeah, we're talking about security monitoring, stuff like that,
Well, this is, it's for our own thing. But, the one bad thing about it, though, is, we're in San Francisco on our, not our honeymoon, on our anniversary. And, we're doing stuff in San Francisco, and look over Bernadette. She's looking at her phone. It's like, what are you doing? She goes, I'm just looking at the dogs because I miss them. She's just watching them nap in the living room and checking on my nephews and shit because they're here. making
Yeah.
sure they're not, burning the house down.
Toby's
No.
up in the window.
He's a giant cat that barks.
Cat, he's shaped like cat dog.
He really is shaped like cat dog. He really
Alone
is.
in the world with a little cat dog.
I mean, dude, yesterday he's walking through work, or day before yesterday, walking through work, just singing Moana 2 songs and shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I was.
just singing Disney songs.
Moana, make way, make way. The island of Motunui.
That was funny when the girl was like,
It's all you need. That's a great song.
when the girl at the South Lake Hospital was like, we don't like this guy. Can we have Maui back? Asking for you to come back because I didn't like the other guy.
I told him he's gone.
Hey, I told her she was gone too. She's like, oh my God, thank you so much. I was like, because the day she told me, I was like, we got to do something about it. And that same day is when showed Doug the videos of him driving up in another company's van to do our company's work. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You have to go. Dude, the day when he came out to make sure he wasn't messing with his car, me, you, and Lou were all sitting out there. He walked out, looked at all of us, and just skirted the other way so fast.
When he got fired?
Yeah. Remember, he came out of the door and he went to walk towards us, and then realized that the three of us were standing there talking and went the other way. I think he was going to walk down towards his car to get his stuff out of the work car, but he went the other way because me, you, and Lou. Because I had just done Lou's vehicle inspection, because he popped out the front door, and then went towards the side of the other end where the rehab is. He went down there, whereas we were standing closer towards the food truck. So he saw us and went the other way. Because Lou had his back turned to him, but I was looking at Lou, so I saw him look up, see us, and keep going. And then popped out. He's like, "You messed with my car, right?" I'm like, "No, everything all right?" He goes, "Yeah, just checking."
Yeah.
I feel that is the worst thing I think about.
He was
being
double dipping 2 jobs.
Yeah.
On 2 clocks at the same time, driving one vehicle over to the other one.
Which I don't know if I tip a violation because we work in the medical field, and he's doing one company's blood work with another company's histology, cytology, and dermatology work. You're mixing up patients' informations and shit. And especially if you're double dipping and you work a late night shift.
How was he driving all the way to Tampa?
I don't know. I don't know because he wasn't clocking out until 2-3 hours later than he's supposed to. So he rolled up in a box truck, a rollback U-Haul box truck that was branded for.
I saw the video.
It's crazy. We drive regular vehicles. We drive Equinoxes and shit.
Listen, I don't know what you. Some,
No, sorry, I'm good.
No more. No medicine.
I got shit to do today.
Oh, so do I.
Well, yeah, but you.
That's one of them.
We are going to a comedy show later.
Exactly.
So I had those tickets sent over to y'all too, by the way.
Yeah.
So you guys had them.
I'm marinating laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm put it on the
pre-cooking
grill.
it.
Put it on the grill later.
Roberto might come with us too. I gave him the link to go and get some free tickets because he said I guess his daughter works this week because it's him and his mom and his daughter, and his daughter's working this weekend, and I think his mom's out of town or something. He's like, he's talking to me. He's like, I don't really know what I'm gonna do this weekend. I have nothing going on. It's like, well, I got tickets to a comedy show. You want to come? He's like, I've never been to one. I was like, cool, come on. So he went and signed up for the tickets. So he might show up tonight too.
Yeah, I like to laugh.
Yeah, but plus I like Roberto.
I like that better than gore and horror.
Yeah, I prefer. It's weird. My TV preference is I like sitcoms.
You ever seen Rose Red by Stephen King?
No.
It's a movie. It's fucking nuts.
The last Stephen King movie that I actually watched was Pet Sematary 2. But the first one,
Pet Sematary 1 was crazy.
Yeah.
The dude had the drill in his open wound.
Yeah, 2 sucked. In comparison, 2 sucked.
I was like, I never want to use a drill ever.
Some Stephen King, Firestarter was great. Carrie was great. Cujo was great.
How is those great? It's just so crazy. The movies are crazy. Blood everywhere. It's covered in blood.
The books were good. Those movies were good. But then, the Langoliers. You ever watch the Langoliers? It was a made-for-TV movie. It was 2 parts.
I think you already knew that I haven't seen that.
Well, it's not a gory movie at all. It's okay. It's a Stephen King movie based on these people. I don't know if they land and they're in an airport and with an airplane, and when they land, everything is empty. And what happens is they have landed outside of time in the past. And these little creatures called the Langoliers eat time. So these people are
But
stuck.
there's an airport.
They're in an airport somehow. That's where it's like based in, and
They're outside of time, but the airport was built.
well, they're in the past. So once everything keeps moving, is whatever's behind here, the Langoliers come and eat. It's these like weird creatures, and they don't ever see the creatures. You just hear this noise, and they're like they eat the past, and these people get stuck in the past.
Right. So you never see the antagonist.
No, you just hear the noise of them in the movie. I don't know. I read the book, but I saw it was like a 2-part movie in like the 90s on TV, and I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever.
I love what they did with that budget.
Well, it was a made-for-TV movie.
It went up somebody's nose.
Well, Stephen King's probably. I mean, he's on record saying he didn't remember writing Cujo because he was just up in his basement smoking cigarettes and railing lines of cocaine.
Yeah.
He didn't even remember writing a book. That's a public thing. That's not.
Getting ripped off by his plastic surgeon.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, he's a scary looking dude. But his books.
Are you sure he's not a Langolier?
If you could condense his books into like the Cliff Notes or the Stephen King Carrie for Dummies, they're fucking great.
You can't even condense his stories.
That's what I'm saying.
Condense his books.
That being
Him
said,
and Dean Koontz.
you want descriptive. You got descriptive.
God. Oh, I don't need to know.
Who was Michael Crichton,
I don't need
right?
you to remind me that there's what are they called? The little capillary spine, the little veins on the leaf. It's like
You're painting too much of a picture, buddy. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Michael Crichton was the guy that did Jurassic Park and Congo and a bunch of stuff, right? Am I right?
I mean, I like
Production.
When I was a kid, I liked that book.
Did Michael Crichton write Jurassic Park? Okay, I thought so.
I like that movie Relic. The book, excuse me, Relic. It was about like this animal that they'd brought in from the Amazon to like this New York museum, and it gets loose and it's fucking killing people. And they gotta bring somebody in. They gotta bring some. No, it's small. It's like I don't know, some type of people-sized animal, not like huge.
Well, it's still King Kong, but
it's loose inside the museum.
You bring something out of its natural habitat, bring it in around people, it gets loose, starts killing people. But
King
now it's
Kong
the bad guy.
climbs up a fucking building, swats at planes, and has a white woman in his hand. No, it's not King Kong.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of weird romance in King Kong.
This is not. Look, I don't. Can we edit this? And all right, and go. So, Lavender is my favorite. So that's all I have to say about that.
What? Where, lavender the smell or lavender the color?
Both of them.
Is it weird that the lavender smells like the color?
Grape smells like its color.
Yeah, grape smells like
Well,
purple.
grape drink does.
Grape period.
Smells like purple.
It smells like purple. I think we're both having a stroke on camera right now. Hold on.
Anyways, no. So the book Relic it's about some type of a animal that's some type of an entity that's like undocumented. It's like mammalian. But it's I don't know. It's undocumented, so it's odd, and so trying to figure out how to take it down and kill it, and the way it's killing, and being in a museum, and you're following people who are museum curators. Those are the characters you're following along with, and things like that. So it's it's less action packed, and it's more
thought-provoking kind of thing.
Thriller,
yeah. See, I like thrillers. It's better than like horror.
Thrillers.
Yeah,
I like
thrillers are
thrillers
better than
too.
horror. Yeah, and especially gore stuff. But
suspense. I like fast-paced, suspenseful stuff. I like that. That's
I
cool.
do like old horror movies. Like you ever watch the old Puppet Master movies? They're stupid as shit, but they're cool.
I've seen some parts of older horror movies, like I said, because my dad dated that young girl who was into them.
That's the first time I saw moving boobies. Like, not in a magazine, but moving boobies.
Moving boobies.
In, like, the Puppet Master movie. And I was, like, 12, 13.
Moving boobies tonight at 11.
Well, because it's the first time I saw, like, on a movie or whatever. You know what I mean? And the girl's, like, I don't know, she's in an elevator getting attacked by a puppet that's this tall with a drill on his head. It's stupid as shit.
I like that.
But I was like, ooh. So it's always stuck out to me.
So, all right, so we have pictographic boobies. We have talkie boobies.
Talking? Oh, okay, I'm following.
Talkie boobies. Then you have IRL boobies. Obviously, if you have those 2 times, you have the 3rd time.
I was talking to my uncle about the IRL boobies because we went to the Bithlo, the drag strip during bike week, and I was making Bambi burgers. They brought down a bunch of venison. We were making hamburgers, and I was on top of my dad's van with this little charcoal grill making burgers.
Nice.
And my uncle and our buddy Adam brought these 2 girls over because they're like, oh, he's so cute, because I'm up there cooking burgers and whatnot, like, being a chef. I'm not, but in my mind I'm being a chef, and the girl's like, oh, look, he's so cute. And Adam's like, yeah, we'll give you guys a couple of hamburgers if you show them your boobs. And they didn't even hesitate. And I was like making hamburgers and just froze. And I was only 14 or so. You got a couple of girls to flash me for him. I was like, hamburgers.
What's your favorite food?
Oh.
Hamburgers. To eat or to get someone to show me their boobs? Because I had 2 different categories.
Well, I took that idea. We went to a spring break in, I don't know, 96. I was like 16 or so. We were in the back of my buddy Justin's truck, and again with a little charcoal grill. And we were making hot dogs. And instead of beads for boobs, we were doing dogs for boobs. People running in from the curbs. That was back when Daytona was so packed that you couldn't really move. You'd get into traffic and just cruise at like 2 miles an hour. So we were just serving hot dogs out of the back of Justin's truck. Me and Randy in the back of Justin's truck just whipping hot dogs out for boobies. Dude,
hot dog for
I
boobies.
do miss the Daytona spring break just because I was young and enjoyed it. Now I would hate it.
That was the first time I ever went. I went in a stolen vehicle. I was 12. I stole the vehicle.
You stole the vehicle?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was on ankle monitor. And I was 12. I know. I was on house arrest ankle monitor with the DJJ, Mr. So I had like 3 days left. And I don't know why, but so I was in the detention center, and I had told this kid named Keith that I'm gonna get a splack, right, which is slang term for a stolen car back then, right? Stolo. So I'm gonna get a splack, man. When I get out, I'm gonna pull up. We're gonna go to the beach. We're gonna hang out, talk to girls, and this and that. This kid's like 16. I'm like 12. And he's like, yeah, all right, kid. All right, Jit. All right, Jit. Yeah, cool. All right, Jit. So anyways, he gets out 4 days, 5 days later, a couple days. I get out maybe like a week and a half later. And then they put me on ankle monitor to let me go. And so I don't know why. One day I just decided I'm going to steal a car. I done heard all these black boys talking about how they steal these cars when I'm in the detention center. Screwdrivers and all this shit they're doing.
Yeah.
All this shit they're doing. I'm like, with the glow ring, all this shit. I'm like, man, I can figure this out. I want to drive. So I go down the street to my friend's house, Brandon. Brandon wants, he's down. So Brandon about to go steal a car. I'm like, all right, let's go. So I take the screwdriver and stab it through the top little holes on the ankle monitor on my leg. That pulls apart these 2 plastic pieces, and I just pulled the battery right out the top of that bitch. And it demagnetized. Whoop, come right off my leg. So I didn't have to cut it, because then it automatically sends a signal. It just went offline. Battery dead, so they respond differently. And then I threw that bitch as far as I could into the woods.
Bye-bye.
And then me and Brandon walked down to an apartment complex. I'm not going to say where because I don't want to incriminate myself any further. But we walked down to this apartment complex, and I was like, watch out for me. I'm going to go try to see if I can steal that truck right there. It was a little 96 Toyota Tacoma, and this is around 96, 97. And this vehicle was unlocked. I get in, and I got the hammer and the screwdriver. I got a pair of pliers, and I'm looking down like, man, all right, so how the hell am I gonna do this? And then, so when I go to look down sideways, my foot comes back and it hits something under the seat that goes clinkety clink clink. Fucking keys. And so I go, oh my God, I got the keys. Put it in, start it up, and then I'm panicking because I didn't know you had to press the brake to get it out of gear, out of park. I didn't know. It was my first time driving.
Yeah.
I had no idea how to drive. I'd never driven before. So I'm panicking because I got this thing crunk up. I'm in it. The door's open. Somebody could come snatch me out of it and start beating the shit out of me. I'm 12 years old. And sure enough, I get upset. I'm pulling. I get pissed. I'm like, damn it. Bam. And I kick the brake basically as I'm pulling it like that. Down we go into neutral. So I'm rolling back, hit the brake. Then I put it up into reverse, come back around, pull up. By this time, Brandon sees that I got the control, and he's like, oh shit. He starts walking up the street. He's bailed. And so I pull out onto Providence, and I got the window down. I got to roll the window like this to get it down. I'm like, hey, get in. He won't get in. I'm like, all right, bye, fine, fuck you. Drove off. Drove over to this kid Keith's house. Pull up. Him and his boy are walking out the front door. When I pull up in the driveway, they run back inside. Like, oh shit, run back inside. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I get out of the car. I'm like, yo, Keith, what the fuck? And he comes back out. He's like, oh shit, I thought you were my probation officer, Mr. And I was like, no, bitch, it's me. And there's remember them little wallets? They were rubber, and you'd like bend them in half.
Oh yeah, like the little change wallet thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just like a little rubber thing.
Yeah.
Usually for people on the beach and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's $26 in there. So man, we drove that truck. We went and got some gas. We went and got some weed.
I was say that's 27 years ago too. Gas was like $1 a gallon.
Not even. It was 99 cents.
Yeah.
Something like that. So we drive out to Daytona in this truck. Get the truck stuck. Tell people we'll give them $5 to pull us out. They pull us out. We dip on them. Haul ass back over to the west side. Went car hopping. I was driving the truck. They're car hopping both sides of the street. Him and his boy Mike, and they're just like throwing everything in the bed of the truck. I'm slow rolling through the neighborhood. Get up to the stop sign.
What production? What is the statute of limitations on a Grand Theft Auto? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, in the state of Florida.
You got to stop speed bagging that microphone too, by the way. They go,
I told the microphone stop talking to me like that. I didn't want to listen.
I'm sorry.
On what now?
Statute of limitations on Grand Theft Auto in the state of Florida.
Well, how long do you think it is? 10 years? I say 10.
10, maybe 20 because it's a felony. 15. It's a third-degree felony.
5?
5 years.
Oh, you good?
Oh, yeah.
You good? 27 years ago. You good? I stole all them cars.
Bro, listen. Yeah, it was like a 96, 95 Toyota Tacoma. It was relatively new. First time I ever drove in the truck that I stole because the keys were left in it. So, really, if you think about it, right, I was wrong.
Okay. I was so waiting on you to be like, it was their fault for leaving the keys in the car. We're going for victim blaming here.
In some places, that would be considered, causing a nuisance because they left the keys.
Yeah. Production.
But
What time is it? What time you got to be in Daytona?
today,
Well, you say you're going to meet that guy around 2-ish or so?
yeah, actually, let me see.
Got to flip through the old Phonodex. It's not a roller. Can you imagine? You say Rolodex now to some kid, they'd be like, "What is that?"
You probably think it's like an automatic joint roller.
That's a branding idea. If anyone makes joint roller machines and you want to sponsor up, he's gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry. See where this guy's at.
But
yeah, I gotta meet up with him. Preferably meet somewhere and get something to eat. I was getting breakfast and lunch today.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry too. When we were leaving Lowe's, the guy out there always has hot dogs, and he's got. It was an accident when he made it, but he has spicy relish, and he was making his relish, and he accidentally dropped a jalapeno in. And he makes big things of relish because he's got a hot dog stand. So the first time he made it was an accident by dropping jalapeno in, and he's like, "Well, this is really good, and it's delicious." So now he has regular relish and a hot relish that he brings out with him. But it's every time he's like, "It's always a little different." I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Because I'm just winging it." So, but dude, there's 2 hot dogs, a bag of chips, and a soda for like $9. 2 Sabret hot dogs.
Where?
Right in front of Lowe's.
Oh.
So
yeah.
that's when
I like shit like that.
Yeah, when we left, that's what we got. Yeah, because it's and it's it's a good hot dog. So, and it's 2 hot dogs, so her and I both had 1 hot dog.
The closer you get the food to my mouth, easier it is for me to eat it. So, great business model.
Where I was talking yesterday I was talking to Berto out there in Tampa. I was talking about he's because I was waiting on you, and I was like, "Oh, Mace Brandon's not here," because normally W2's one of the earliest back. You know what I mean?
I usually go back there.
Oh,
I usually go to BAD,
Yeah, so
but I drove all the way to Altamont.
Well,
sent that shit backwards.
and when we were talking, I was like, I don't know, man. Brandon probably stopped and got dinner because I know Brandon done got lunch. He might have got second lunch. I don't know.
I did stop for like 45 minutes for food. I went to this Cuban cafe out there. Fucking amazing food.
Hell yeah.
So good. Yeah. It was like
Well, and again, that route's short.
40
you know?
bucks.
So you can,
I
even
had 8 stops.
yeah, it's not bad. Now she gets call-ins that'll take her all the way back. Or, she's got one that'll take like in the back ass end of Brooksville.
Yeah.
Her first couple stops in Brooksville, but then she starts heading back up to like Newport Richey, whatever, and she'll have one call that'll like send her all the way back down to Brooksville. Sometimes.
Fuck it though.
And they're the only time they do call is they're like a slow mos, so it's got to get picked up. It's,
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, if they're again, if I'm working a W shift, I live on the East Coast, and they got me working on a West Coast shift.
Oh yeah, if I'm working a W shift, I'm getting 12.
I'm going to do this job the right way, but I'm not going to be rushing to try to make it in 11 hours instead of 12, 10 hours instead of 11.
No, I'm getting 12.
I'm just going to, this is not a 7-hour shift. This is an 11 and 12-hour shift. So I'm probably going to eat twice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm making it a 12 for sure. The only one of them that is even like a busy route out of there is 04. And that's just because the same thing. Call-ins will take you all the way around, but he has quite a few stops as well as call-ins. Because like 03 used to be busy, but it's pretty slowed down now. There's not a lot on it. 06 went from being the most part-time route out there to a full-time route. You don't get back to base now until 4:30, 5 o'clock. Leaving up out of there, and that's if you leave at 9:30.
Yeah.
It used to be leave there at 10:30. Now I got to leave at 9:30 because they added that one stop in Zephyr Hills. So it takes you like an hour.
Well, that girl got canned. She was unprofessional.
She was very unprofessional. She had a bunch of complaints about that, but the straw on the camel's back for that one was she blew past, didn't even like slow down, but she blew past school bus. And Florida school bus, when their signs are out, they have a camera in the front and the back. So they take a picture of you as you drive by and a picture of your plate as you go past the front. And they sent the picture of it in because the company got the ticket, obviously. They didn't give it to so the company got the ticket. And there's a picture of her driving and the car. And then she tried to say, that wasn't me. I let Rick take my car that day. I took a spare. Well, Rick is an old white dude with a Santa Claus beard. And is a tall, skinny black girl with braids in her hair. There's a picture of you. You don't look anything alike. You don't look anything alike. It's just like, no, man, that's you.
She tried to blame Rick.
Tried to blame Rick for it. Yes, that was her. Like that. And I mean, we've only had like 3 people get fired. Everybody else is kind of. We've basically asked people to leave. But we've only had 3 people get fired. One guy kept taking his car home, driving around another company's car and sexually harassing women, and then blowing past the school bus. The job's not hard. We don't, you know what I mean? Like it's low maintenance job. We get paid decent to do it, so we don't have a lot of turnover. It's really hard to fuck up. I mean, unless you're outwardly rude to a client or you lose a patient's specimen, that's going to be an issue. You know what I mean? I don't think and even then you'd probably have some kind of serious repercussion. But I don't think you'd get fired for it unless it was a regular thing where you're losing stuff, Because, man, I had a slide. I told you I had a slide come out of one of those books that I found the next day underneath the car seat. And I wasn't even looking for it. I was just cleaning my car out, and I found that slide.
I found a slide.
Oh, no.
I found a slide in the back of a vehicle. Back door handle.
It had just fallen out?
Back left door handle.
Yeah.
Out of one of the W cars, a spare that I was looking in for a bag.
Yeah, well, the one I found, the one on the slide for me was it was in one of the spare cars in Altamont.
Yeah.
And I'd assumed that it was me. I didn't think about that it might have been someone else that dropped it. But I found the slide, brought it right into Peyton, and was like, hey. But those slides, they have that little QR code that they scan on top of it now, which is nice, so they know right where it goes. And it's not like you didn't lose a fresh specimen. You know what I mean? A slide is processed, stained, and on a slide, it's not like you're losing somebody's gallbladder or, you know what I mean, like polyps that have been clipped to be tests for biopsy stuff. Like that's... what we do is really simple, but it's also very important. We don't have anybody that comes in there and just doesn't approach it in the sense of like what we do isn't important because we are like pivotal parts of healthcare. You know what I mean? Like the lab work without lab work, people don't know what's wrong with you. And we're the largest national lab.
It's a good job. I like it. It's not hard to do it the correct way. I'm okay with tedious stuff. I'm pretty good with it.
Yeah, and even that's not that tedious.
I spot out shit, and Well, it is, because you have to send things to the right place, and if you don't know where it's going, you can't just guess. You need to figure it out.
Well, to me, tedious. In my brain, when I hear tedious, I think of like slow, repetitive, monotonous shit. Like that. To me, that's what tedious is in my brain.
Yeah.
Like we got to be paying attention to what we're doing for sure. But to me, that's not tedious. Like having to fill out one COC with 47 different patients' information on it. That's tedious because you're just you know what I mean.
Enjoy writing.
That's a pain.
I got nice handwriting.
Yeah, that I do not. So my hands hurt after a while of writing.
I enjoy writing. I like the act of writing. It's fun to me.
You got any songs you're writing lately? I know you don't physically write them down.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't write anymore. I haven't written in a long, long time. But a little bit of stuff I've been playing around with. Nothing serious.
That's a project. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff I've been dicking around with, but I haven't really. That being said, I don't really like to write by myself. Like I don't write like that. I always like to sit with somebody. We kind of groove together. I've always written better as a team, and it doesn't have to be a specific. Like I write really well with Grant. I did write really well with Danny. You know, like Danny and I wrote real well together.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people I've written. Like me and Strokes wrote really well together. Me and Lonnie wrote real. Like I've got a bunch of people I've been able to write with. I've always drawn inspiration. I don't know if it's inspiration, but I could sit down with somebody and kind of kick ideas back and forth. But I like to know where I'm going with the song. Like I'll start down with like I don't want to say a theme, but like, you know what I mean? Like what I'm talking about, I guess it is a theme. Like an overall thing of what I'm talking about. And then
brainstorming.
Yeah, kick shit around, you know. I don't just, but hell, the first day we hung out with Jesse that day, we went down to the beach, you just freestyled literally all the way to the beach and all the way back from the beach.
That was a good day.
It was a good day. That was a real good day, man. But you freestyle for, 30 minutes each way. You know? The only other person I've seen freestyle like that's priceless.
Yeah.
Dude, if nothing else, the kid's talented. You know? If nothing else, the kid's talented.
Yeah, I fucks with priceless.
Yeah. Dude, when we had the thing at West End, we had I'm not going to name the other guy because I'm not trying to shit on anybody, but we had you were there. We had the other, like the guy come to headline it. And we did that little freestyle thing, and he got up and just said like the same lines 5 or 6 times, and you and Priceless just destroyed him to where, but after Priceless started going, he just walked off. He handed his microphone to his buddy and walked off the stage.
Yeah.
And you weren't like battling.
What else was he gonna do?
Yeah, it's not like you guys weren't even battling. It wasn't like you're talking, going back and forth where you're just getting up there and freestyling over a beat. He's just like, I'm out of here. He just walked off.
The
kid he brought with him, the real tall, skinny guy, I don't remember his name for the life of me, but he was pretty good.
He was all right.
He was good. He was better freestyling than he was with the stuff that he had prepared.
Correct.
Like I'm horrible at freestyle. I'm way better when I prepare something. If I freestyle, I might get 4 lines out that are good, and then I'll start. Either A, I'll laugh because I've said something stupid, or I'll start flubbing my shit.
If you want to freestyle, you really got to be able to kind of get into a zone of like, I want to call it like an Alan Watts nothingness.
Like a flow state.
Yeah, and just like kind of, you got to get into a binge or a flow state.
I think the best freestyler ever was Harry Mack. The guy, you give him the most outlandish words, and he'll do full ass songs with shit that makes no sense, and he makes it make sense. He's so good, dude. It's just, and I don't think he writes. He does full concerts that are all freestyle. Like he tours like that. You know what I mean? He's so.
He's in love with wordplay.
And it's not like, there's been a lot of real, like, dude, KRS-One is also one of the best freestylers of all time.
I lost some romance with wordplay. I got away from it a little bit. I still enjoy it, but I don't. It doesn't dominate my focus anymore like it used to.
Yeah, my favorite song you've ever done is "Yuck." You're the first person I've ever known did a whole song with no hook. What was it like?
52 bars.
Every one of them was an assault.
That was pretty good.
It was an assault, And you guys, you had good bops. Like you had real good bops. Like all of your shit. That whole, your whole Dead Broke. You and Andrew and KO, man. You guys, their whole Dead Broke shit was good.
Like we did well.
Yeah, and it was fun. You know what I mean?
It was mad fun.
It was good. It was fun.
performing,
But-
packing out local places where you live is
But to me, nothing
me, that's
tops that
cool.
song, Yuck, dude. That
Yuck is good.
Yeah, Yuck is good.
yeah. Forbes 500.
Man, like for me, my favorite song I've written is Good Girl. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just because of the hook, you know. And the rest of it I can play around with and get rid of, but that hook is fucking
I mean, the best song I've written is probably "Spread Love, Not Hate." You know, it's a song where I talk about positive things, and America and things like that. It's from back in the day when I was with Yak.
I don't remember that one.
It's on the cloud.
I mean, I believe it, but I don't remember that one. Yeah, I have to check that out. Because I did a bunch. I did that whole album with the Bad Bear guys. You know what I mean? That's like 18 tracks or whatever on the album, and it's weird because it's more like a collab album because every track has me on it. But they all, everybody from David Osario to dudes I've only met once that came in here and killed it. Like, all kinds of weird. You know what I mean? Like, but it's a good album. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, check it out on SoundCloud. You'll enjoy it.
Is it B-Sheets?
Spread Love, Not Hate. Yeah, B-Sheets.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll check that out. You guys have the you have your Dead Broke stuff? Is that on SoundCloud or anything?
Dead Broke. If you want to listen to Dead Broke, you got to go on to Dead Broke Entertainment and Reverb Nation.
I mean, I have the album still. I have the CD still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I have the CD still, bro.
Gang. Yeah, a lot of failed relationships. You know me. I chose to leave with guns rather than sentimental stuff.
Well, life moves on.
Yeah. Exactly.
That being said, everybody, you're still friends with all those guys, the Dead Broke dudes.
Yeah, hardcore. We're Dead Broke for life.
I was gonna say you guys. Well, yeah, and y'all been friends a long time. Y'all were friends well before I met you.
Yeah, I own the domain name too.
Oh, that I didn't know.
DeadBrokeForLife.com.
Oh, that I didn't know. Because was Dead Broke Andrew's project that you joined, or did you guys start that together?
Dead Broke was initially Mike Bradley, Andrew.
Bradley was the dude with the glasses,
Mike
right?
Thompson. No,
Or
it was
that
Mike Thompson.
That's Mike Thompson. Okay.
Mike Bradley was a guy from the hood over on South Cooper. And so Dead Broke was like a local thing initially with them, and then they kind of went their own way. They were still friends, but when you start to grow up, you branch out.
Yeah.
And in the fractals, and so they got away, but everything was still cool. It was all love, and then we brought it back. And what started everything was me and Andrew. I had moved back from Connecticut, and when I moved back from Connecticut, Andrew was living with his dad out in Pine Hills, and he had a studio set up in his room. And when I'd come back, he was like, "Yo, you should, some Jalil beat." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, I'll write something," And so we recorded it, and then he recorded it, and that became a song called "The Press Conference." And that song called the Press Conference is basically those 16 bars is what started my little rap career locally.
Hell yeah.
For the next, I don't know, 10 years after that.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, watching you perform is because you're a big dude. Sitting down in this chair, you can't really tell, but dude's a big boy. And even when you weren't, because now you're like grown man big, it's a little different because we thicken out. But even when you were younger, you're still a big boy, and you were all over that stage.
Yeah.
Same thing with Priceless. That's one of the things like that.
Yeah, I performed with a lot of energy. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, Priceless. But Priceless, he had to be like 350. You know what I mean? He's lost a bunch of weight, but before, and he was everywhere. I've never
shout out to Price.
I've never seen anybody perform like that kid, man. He's real. Well, I can't say I've never seen anybody, but I've never seen anybody that size perform like that.
Yeah, I'm about like 290 something now, almost 300.
Well, yeah, but you weren't built like Priceless though.
No,
like you got a different frame. Priceless was, like floppy fat, and that's coming. I'm a fat guy, Priceless was obese dude. Like he's lost a bunch of weight. He looks great, but when I met him, he was huge. And even being huge like that, he was all over the place. Like it
never affected his performance.
No, or his air, because that kid would go.
I saw a video of a big dude, man. He jumped off the stage, fucked his knees up, fell to the ground.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
He's shirtless and has some white jeans on.
I've seen that video. Anytime I see anybody's knees go backwards,
both my knees lit up when I saw that video.
The video of the guy that's in the backyard wrestling ring that like jumps off the rope and both of his knees just burred out on him. Oh no, you poor guy. I would rather watch a broken bone than a knee go backwards any day.
That boy turned into an emu.
So fast.
He's a goddamn marsupial now. That's another second greatest export out of Australia, other than that kangaroo video.
Dude, which one? The guy where the
one
dude
that
punches the kangaroo because he's holding his dog.
The Shane Gillis one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kangaroos will drown your dog. That's why they go in the water.
Yeah, they drown dingoes.
Yeah, and that's when you see a kangaroo stinking up shoulders out of the water, don't get in.
Dog's not worried about biting you if it can't breathe.
Exactly. They will drown you. That's what they do. If you see a kangaroo in the water, shoulders up, they're waiting for you to get in with them because they're gonna drown you. Like that's their whole. They do that to dingoes all the time because they just get a hold of them and hold them under.
Kangaroos are strong as fuck.
Yeah. You know what's funny is we went to
we punch them in the end of their nose.
We went to the zoo a couple weeks ago. We were just doing like a date day. We walked through the zoo and we stopped because I always love to look at the alligators. You know what I mean? But we live in Florida. You know, like I have videos of me way closer to alligators than you'll get in the zoo. I was walking up on the little one, so it made me think. And we have our buddy Sean lives in Australia, so I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, y'all. When you go to the zoo, do you go and look at the kangaroos in the zoo?" And he goes, "Oh no, mate. You're more likely to see them running around in the wild than you see them at the zoo. They just sleep all day behind rocks at the zoo. They don't want to deal with us." It's like, but in the wild, you'll see whole herds of them go by at one time. I was like, "Oh," it's like, yeah, they'll walk right out. They come through the suburban areas and just walk. 20, 30 of them just come through together. They don't care there's houses there. They don't give a shit. They just walk right through. Well, slow hop. Get to their next spot.
I wouldn't fuck with kangaroo.
Yeah, he's not uncommon for them to go outside and there'll be 5-6 kangaroos just chilling on there because they have like an awning over the back of their porch. They'll just be there in the shade, just enjoying it for a little while. So no, he's like, that's not uncommon at all. And it's funny because he's a fireman, his wife's a police officer. Both of them do the Highland Games. And both of them are like power lift. So they're both these
Yeah.
That's their job. Like, if you came home and there's like a big alligator or a kangaroo in your house, they were the people you would call. He's like, so when we get home, we just, whatever. We're not working. We're home.
Yeah. I'm not playing around with a kangaroo.
Yeah, he's coming in June, so it'd be fun to sit down and talk with him for a little bit.
Yeah.
He's an interesting cat. He's,
the Outback, mate.
Well, he and I are on, we have like a
shared,
we have a shared,
all right,
fucked up sense of humor. He sends me, him and Terrell send me the most whacked out shit. They find the most, just some of it's weird, some of it's gross, some of it's funny, all of it is like, why? And it'll be the first, I woke up the other day and one of the first things he sent me was a cartoon of a poop inside somebody's butt with a tongue flicking around and the poop trying to run from the tongue. And that's it. There's no words. It's just it's like you hear the poop like scared and you hear and it's 10 seconds. It's the first thing I saw in the morning.
I mean, the video sounds worse than it probably was to watch.
It's very cute cartoon. Like the poop looks like a scared little poop. Yeah, like it's a cute little cartoon.
That's what I think about when I think turd lick.
It's one of the weirdest things ever, and it was the first 10 seconds of my day.
Yeah.
I was like, good morning, buddy.
You can only go up from there.
Yeah, well, and plus, they're in the future. So for us, when I wake up in the middle of the night, it's, noon on the next day for them there. Well, buddy, I'm going to get you out of here because then you got to go, meet up with your, is he work for you as a salesman? Or you're trying to bring him on as a salesman?
Work with.
Well,
this guy,
I work for might not be the right term, but
he's extremely ambitious. He's got a high amount of energy. He works with a lot of services that he's selling, and I rarely find someone who has this type of drive and ambition in an industry where you only get paid if you convert. It's commission based, 1099 work, contract work. If you don't make nothing happen, you don't get paid. If you don't work, you don't eat. If you sleep too much, you don't eat enough. And so he's a hard charging, ambitious guy who's out there grinding. And he knows how to develop teams and get other people and things like that and recruit. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, I hope that goes well for you.
You too.
Regardless, you're one of my best friends. I love you, man.
Yeah,
and
I love you too,
technically, you were my first episode, but we hadn't figured out the lights yet. We hadn't figured out the camera stuff yet.
Well,
so it was more like a cut and paste. So I just scrapped it because I was paying more attention to how long we had before the lights went down or before we had to retake the camera cut than I was actually talking to you. So that's why I wanted to do this. So that's why, we made Scott the first one, but you were my actual first.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, it was my actual first episode. My dad was my first interview, but you were my first episode. So this is be the second episode that we put out. But I love you, buddy.
Love you too, bro.
So and your centerpiece is the statue of the thinker.
The man who like to think about things.
You know, like.
What's going on, Wilbur?
I mean, it felt like, you know, when we were looking for stuff, it felt like it just fit you, man, because you're, you know.
Yeah. You know what he's thinking about.
It looks like he's thinking about hoping to get off that toilet soon, but.
He's thinking about, he's like, you know, this granite is really cold on my ball sack. That's what he's thinking.
On that note, have a good day. Thank you.
Here, just keep your eye on the screen. Oops.
Hi, Brandon.
Just kidding. Wrong.
Hi, Brandon. Welcome to Lounge Trip. Of course.
Hey, there's more of this down the road. There's only about 35,000 tigers left in the wild.